Hey everyone, welcome back to Scripture Study with Smithy. Just doing some bit of research, and I stumbled across the story of Samson, but not Samson himself, but his parents. It was quite interesting, so I thought I'd just share it with you quickly. It's found in Judges chapter 13. At this time, the children of Israel had been pretty evil, so they'd come into captivity. The Lord had delivered them into the hands of the Philistines 40 years. Okay. And we start in verse 2, and it says, "And there was a certain man of Zorah, of the family of the Danites, Dan being a tribe of Israel, right? Whose name was Manoah, and his wife was barren and bare not. And the angel of the Lord appeared unto the woman, and said unto her, Behold, now thou art barren, and bearest not, but thou shalt conceive and bear a son. Now therefore beware, I pray thee, and drink not wine nor strong drink, and eat not any unclean thing. For lo, thou shalt conceive and bear a son, and no razor shall come on his head, for the child shall be a Nazarite unto God from the womb, and he shall begin to deliver Israel out of the hand of the Philistines." Fascinating that these were a righteous couple. They couldn't have children. The angel of the Lord appears to the woman, not the husband, right? To the woman, and says that she's going to have a child, a son, but gives her very clear instructions what to do before this happens, before she conceives, right? That basically she needs to start cleaning up her diet and living like a Nazarite before before the child's conceived. So what is a Nazarite? If you go back to Numbers chapter 6, and it says, "The Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, When either man or woman shall separate themselves to vow a vow of a Nazarite, to separate themselves unto the Lord." So if a man or a woman could do this, right? "He shall separate himself from wine and strong drink, and shall drink no vinegar of wine or vinegar of strong drink. Neither shall he drink any liquor of grapes, nor eat moist grapes, or dried. All the days of his separation shall he eat nothing that is made of the vine tree, from the kernels even to the husk. All the days of the vow of his separation there shall no razor come upon his head, until the days be fulfilled, in the which he separateth himself unto the Lord. He shall be holy, and shall let the locks of the hair of his head grow. All the days that he separateth himself unto the Lord, he shall come at no dead body." Okay, so certain things you couldn't drink, eat, and you had to let your hair grow, and you couldn't come to any dead body. Verse 7, "He shall not make himself unclean for his father, or for his mother, or for his brother, or for his sister, when they die, because the consecration of his God is upon his head. All the days of his separation he is holy unto the Lord. And if any man die very suddenly by him, and he hath defiled the head of his consecration, then he shall shave his head in the day of his cleansing. On the seventh day shall he shave it." Okay, so if he's killed somebody and defiled his vows of consecration, he'll have to shave his head on the seventh day. "And on the eighth day he shall bring 2 turtles or 2 young pigeons to the priest, to the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and the priest shall offer the one for a sin offering, and the other for a burnt offering, and make an atonement for him, for that he sinned by the dead, and shall hallow his head that same day. And he shall consecrate unto the Lord the days of his separation, and shall bring a lamb of the first year for a trespass offering. But the days that were before shall be lost, because the separation was defiled. And this is the law of the Nazarite. When the days of his separation are fulfilled, he shall be brought into the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and he shall offer his offering unto the Lord, 1 he lamb of the first year without blemish for a burnt offering. Very specific things he's got to do here. And 1 ewe lamb of the first year without blemish for a sin offering, and the 1 ram without blemish for peace offerings, and a basket of unleavened bread, cakes of fine flour mingled with oil, and wafers of unleavened bread anointed with oil, in their meat offering and their drink offerings. And the priest shall bring them before the Lord, and shall offer his sin offering and his burnt offering. And he shall offer the ram for a sacrifice of peace offerings unto the Lord, with the basket of unleavened bread. The priest shall offer also his meat offering and his drink offering. And the Nazarite shall shave the head of his separation at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and shall take the hair of the head of his separation, and put it in the fire which is under the sacrifice of the peace offerings. So he's got to shave his head. Remember, he's let his hair grow the whole time that he's been separated with this vow. Now he's got to shave his head and put it in the fire under the peace offerings. And the priest shall take the sodden shoulder of the ram, and 1 unleavened cake out of the basket, and 1 unleavened wafer, and shall put them upon the hands of the Nazarite after the hair of his separation is shaven. And the priest shall wave them for a wave offering before the Lord. This is holy for the priest, with the wave breast and heave shoulder. And after that the Nazarite may drink wine. This is the law of the Nazarite, who hath vowed, and from his offering unto the Lord for his separation, beside that his hand shall get, according to the vow which he vowed, so he must do after the law of his separation. So this is interesting that Manoah and his wife were commanded to, or she was commanded to start living this type of separation before she conceived, and that the child would grow up a Nazarite from the womb. It's like they're offering him to the Lord, separating him to the Lord, and it could be for the full duration of his life, or it could be just for a short period of time. But the Lord's saying basically for his whole life here. So we're up to Judges 13 verse 6. And then the woman came and told her husband. Okay, so the angels come to her and told her what's going to happen. Now she goes to Manoah and says, a man of God came unto me, and his countenance was like the countenance of an angel of God, very terrible. But I asked him not whence he was, neither told me his name, neither he told me his name. Interesting that it was an angel of God, very terrible countenance, was bright, very terrible. I don't know, I've never seen an angel like that, but I can imagine you'd be pretty freaked out. But he said unto me, behold, thou shalt conceive and bear a son, and now drink no wine nor strong drink, neither eat any unclean thing, for the child shall be a Nazarite to God from the womb to the day of his death. Yes, so his whole life was going to be consecrated or separated to God. Okay. Then Manoah entreated the Lord. So the first thing, she comes and tells the husband what happened with this angel visitation. And Manoah's first thing that he does was he prays and says, O my Lord, let the man of God which thou didst send come again unto us, and teach us what we shall do unto the child that shall be born. Fascinating. He didn't doubt. He didn't question his wife, didn't doubt. God hearkened to the voice of Manoah, and the angel of God came again unto the woman as she sat in the field, but not Manoah, her husband, was not with her. Interesting that he prayed, but the angel went back to the wife as an answer to the prayer. And the woman made haste and ran and showed her husband, and said unto him, behold, the man hath appeared unto me that came unto me the other day. And Manoah arose and went after his wife, and came to the man, and said unto him, art thou the man that speakest unto the woman? And he said, I am. And Manoah said, now let thy words come to pass. Look at that. Like I said, the first thing he did was pray that the man would come back and teach us what to do with the child. And then the second thing was, let thy words come to pass. How shall we order the child, and how shall we do unto him? And the angel of the Lord said unto Manoah, of all that I said unto the woman, let her beware. She may not eat of anything that cometh of the vine, neither let her drink wine or strong drink, nor eat any unclean thing. All that I commanded her, let her observe. So it's interesting that he's reinforcing what he said to her, but he's saying it to Manoah to make sure that he ensures that she's observing it. And Manoah said unto the angel of the Lord, I pray thee, let us detain thee until we shall have made ready a kid for thee. And the angel of the Lord said unto Manoah, though thou detain me, I will not eat of thy bread. And if thou wilt offer a burnt offering, thou must offer it unto the Lord. For Manoah knew not that he was an angel of the Lord. So it's interesting that he was like terrible. He was like an angel of the Lord the first time she saw him. But now Manoah doesn't recognize him as an angel of the Lord. Interesting. And Manoah said unto the angel of the Lord, what is thy name? That when thy sayings come to pass, we may do thee honor. And the angel of the Lord said unto him, why askest thou thus after my name, seeing it is secret? I thought that was a fascinating response. So I think in that response, Manoah, I think, reference back to Genesis 32:29, where a similar thing was said to Moses, or to someone else back. I can't remember who it was back then, but anyway. So Manoah took a kid with a meat offering and offered it upon a rock unto the Lord, and the angel did wondrously, and Manoah and his wife looked on. So they were watching what he was doing with the meat offering. For it came to pass that when the flame went up toward heaven from off the altar, that the angel of the Lord ascended in the flame of the altar. And Manoah and his wife looked on it and fell on their faces to the ground. But the angel of the Lord did no more appear to Manoah and to his wife. Then Manoah knew that he was an angel of the Lord. And Manoah said unto his wife, we shall surely die because we have seen God. That's a fascinating thing that he says there. He witnesses the Lord ascending up in the flame, no longer with them. And he says, we're surely going to die because we have seen him. But she says it's an interesting response. But his wife said unto him, if the Lord were pleased to kill us, he would not have received a burnt offering and a meat offering at our hands, neither would he have showed us all these things, nor would, as at this time, have told us such things as these. So she's pretty wise. She's probably wiser than Manoah, but Manoah was faithful. Interesting stuff. I mean, I've heard the story of Samson before, right? But I don't remember ever anyone talking about this in terms of how Samson came to be. Well, apart from that, he was going to be a Nazarite from his birth, right? And the woman bare a son and called his name Samson. And the child grew, and the Lord blessed him. And the Spirit of the Lord began to move him at times in the camp of Dan between Zorah and Eshtaol. Well, that's the beginning story of Samson. I'm going to read the rest of it because I thought it was fascinating. There's a few things in it that I wanted to talk about, which, I thought were interesting. But it's interesting that the Spirit of the Lord began to move him. The Lord blessed him as a child. It doesn't say how he blessed him. We always get this image of Samson being this big, strong guy, because he did such mighty deeds. but I wonder if he was maybe normal kind of stature, but maybe a little, maybe strong because he was physically strong, but maybe he wasn't like a massive dude, you know what I mean? And that's what was confounding. That's why he confounded people. Like they couldn't figure out why he had such great strength. Anyway, just a thought. I found it fascinating about Manoah and his wife. A shame we don't know her name. And their faith and their willingness to submit to the voice of the angel, which we know was God. He says we're seeing God, so it was the angel of the Lord. It's a very similar story to if you project it forward, similar type of story to Joseph and Mary, both who received visitations of angel, the same angel, and they had a son, and she had a son. So it's like a type and a shadow here as well. Interesting. Hope you got something out of that, and please tune in for the next couple of videos. We'll do the rest of Samson's story. Cheers.